Hi, this is Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and I'm here this weekend. It's July 3rd right now. It's about to be July 4th in the US, which is when we celebrate our Independence Day. So I thought I'd celebrate our Independence Day by having a game about fireworks, because a lot of Americans watch or set off fireworks. Um, it's also a game with a Japanese name by a French designer, so we're celebrating a lot of cultures with this game called Hanabi. Um, Hanabi is a game where players work together to try to put numbers, cards with numbers on the table, from numbering them from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete a stack. There are 5 different colors. There are different numbers of each number within those colors. But the hook of the game, as you probably know if you're watching this video, is that you can't look at your own cards. You hold the cards like this, like literally like this. Like I can't see my cards right now. I can only see it because I can see the camera. But normally I would not be able to see what's in my hand. There are a couple things you can do on your turn, but the key thing that I wanted to talk about today, in terms of my favorite game mechanism of this game, that is related to the fact that you can't see your cards, is that when you give a clue, which is one of the things you can do on your turn, you can choose a player and give them a clue. There are very specific clues you can give. You can say, let's see what I have in my hand. You can tell the person a number and point out all cards in your hand that have that number. So I can say, Jamey, you have 2 5s. And then at the same time, I have to point at both 5s. I can't point at 1 5 to show that that one's more important than the other. At the same time, I have to point at both of them and say, Jamey, you have 2 5s in your hand. Or I could say, I can name a color and name all cards of that color. I could say, Jamey, you have 1 green card. And that's it. That's the only thing you can give. And if you follow the rules strictly, the only time you can give your fellow players any clues at all are during that stage when you're talking directly to a player. So you can't, like, we play pretty strictly at this point when we play this game, where you can't, like, because you can see everyone else's hand except for your own. So you can't say, okay, Brad, why don't you give the clue about color in a minute over here, and I'll give the clue about the number. There's really no table talk in this game other than groaning when you get something wrong or celebrating when you get something right, because the only clues you can give are number or color, and only when it's your turn, given directly to one other player. And what is great about this is that it solves one of the big problems in cooperative games, which is called quarterbacking, when one player in a cooperative game directs everybody else and tells them what to do. There are other cooperative games that have creative ways of getting around this. Probably most recently and most notably is Dead of Winter. But Hanami is such an elegant game. It's such a very streamlined, elegant game that does the same thing. It prevents quarterbacking because you really can't. You're not allowed to communicate in ways that would quarterback. Like I'm not allowed to direct my fellow player to say, you should give the blue clue, or you should give the yellow clue to Diane over here. I'm naming names of people that I never play with. I don't know why I'm picking these names. But that's really crucial for this game, because it gives each player interesting choices to make on their turn, independent of the other players. But at the same time, they're working with everyone else to have a successful Hanabi celebration, a fireworks celebration. And that's what's really cool about this game. Other game I mentioned Dead of Winter as a game that prevents quarterbacking, and Dead of Winter does it by having each player collect and submit cards to different piles during the game, in a way where you don't really know exactly what they're going after. Each player has like an individual objective that they're going after. So if everyone wins, you only personally win if you accomplish an individual objective. There's also a trader mechanism in Dead of Winter, which is seen in a lot of other games. I think it was first introduced in Shadows over Camelot. That one has a trader mechanism too. So some cooperative games do that, where you can't trust one of the players, which is good. It's a good mechanism, and it can be a lot of fun. But sometimes, and some people think it goes against the spirit of a cooperative game, in which you're all trying to work together. You're all trying to trust one another, and sometimes you just don't want to even. You want to play a game where you truly are all in it together, and you're not questioning that trust level during the game. And Hanabi does this really well. There's no trader mechanism in Hanabi. We've actually talked about trying to play it with a trader mechanism just to see how it would work out. We would have to play completely quietly during the game because it would be really easy to. I don't think it would work because I would tell a player, hey, you have. I might lie to a player and say, hey, these are your blue cards. And as soon as they play that next card, they know that I lied and that I'm the traitor. So trader mechanism probably wouldn't work at all in Hanabi. But I'm curious what you think. If there are other games that you've found other cooperative games that use a non-trader mechanism to prevent quarterbacking between the various players. Hanabi is I think, the quintessential example of this. And I'm almost curious, I mean, this is such an elegant game. It would be interesting at some point to see a more elaborate cooperative game with perhaps the same communication and card mechanism. Maybe both, maybe one or the other. Probably both, where you can see information about other players, but they can't see your own information. And so there's a limited way that you can communicate that information at the table. Really, the only downside of this is that one of the other fun things about cooperative games are when there are open discussions, when you're all talking at once, trying to figure things out, working together. And Hanabi doesn't really have that. You can't play Hanabi with open discussions, or it just doesn't work. So anyway, Hanabi, great game. Very innovative mechanism to prevent quarterbacking in a cooperative game. Have a good July 4th wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments.